little clips, like you see how like me and him was talking, and then somebody else talked like in his crew. That's what get me up. Like that's what made me like. I always want to prove to somebody that I'm like.
Time is running out, and for Lamont Roach, it may be ticking even faster. The former world champion is set to step into the ring against an undefeated knockout artist with 28 stoppages to his name, none other than Gervonta Tank Davis. This isn't just any fight. It's a high-stakes trilogy bout that carries an undeniable psychological weight. Davis has already beaten Roach twice before, and now Roach is stepping up once again, hoping to change the outcome. However, history isn't on his side. Tank has been adding more fuel to the fire, sending out subtle yet firm warnings that suggest he's fully prepared to make Roach his 29th knockout victim.
I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother. Yeah, now watch this. Now watch.
They gonna be.
Despite Roach's insistence that the pressure doesn't faze him, deep down, he must be aware of the challenge ahead. He has confidence in his skills, but confidence alone won't be enough when he faces one of the most dangerous punchers in the sport.
I say 9th round. What? I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at night.
I'm telling you saying you going down in a night?
While some boxing fans don't view this fight as a massive blockbuster event, a growing number of insiders believe Roach could be the perfect opponent to truly test Davis. Nicknamed the Reaper, Roach has built a reputation as a fighter who thrives on proving doubters wrong. His ability to surprise opponents with unexpected power and skill has even been acknowledged by Davis himself. Though Davis remains the heavy favorite, there's a conversation brewing that suggests Roach might be capable of pulling off an upset. If that were to happen, a massive if, it would send shockwaves throughout the boxing world, completely reshaping both fighters' careers. For Roach, it would be a career-defining moment. For Davis, it could put an unexpected halt to what many see as the final chapter of his dominance in the division.
Actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all that people talk about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together.
The road to making this fight happen hasn't been smooth. Negotiations were drawn out, multiple delays fueled speculation, and at one point, it seemed like the fight might not happen at all. Davis even went so far as to publicly announce that the fight was canceled, a statement that left fans around the world frustrated and disappointed. However, despite all the uncertainty, things eventually fell into place. Now, with both fighters locked into training camps and fine-tuning their game plans, all the noise has died down and the focus has shifted to the ring. Even with the fight officially back on, Davis couldn't resist adding more intrigue. He recently posted a cryptic message on X.
Little big bro coming out with the upset. A lot of people are going to pick Tank going into that fight, but how do you see that playing out?
I see my brother walking out victorious. There's no doubt. Not because that's my brother, but because I've seen him.
Formerly Twitter, writing, "Fighting for my life." Those 4 words immediately set off a storm of speculation among his fans. Was this a sign of personal struggles? A hint at the immense pressure he's feeling leading up to this fight? Or simply a way to express the grueling nature of his training camp? The message was ambiguous, leaving room for multiple interpretations. But one thing was certain, it caught everyone's attention. During a recent press conference, Davis opened up about his mindset and the toll the sport has taken on him. "Boxing's been my life, but it's weighing heavy on me now. I'm thinking more about my family than the ring these days," he admitted. For years, Davis has been seen as one of the toughest fighters in the game, a relentless competitor who thrives under pressure. But even the strongest champions have their limits. His words resonated with fans, offering a rare glimpse into the emotional and mental strain that comes with being at the top of the sport.
Just overall being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'ma show up.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
I ain't worried about that.
Following his cryptic post, fans flooded social media with reactions, some expressing concern, others offering encouragement. One fan wrote, "That sounds scary," reflecting the general unease felt by many after seeing the tweet. Another tried to lift Davis's spirits, commenting, "Keep fighting, champ." Messages of support continued pouring in, showcasing the deep connection Davis has built with his audience over the years. His fans have watched him rise to the top, battle through adversity, and now they're rallying behind him once again.
Another fan.
One particularly notable comment read, "Damn, that's cryptic," echoing the confusion surrounding Davis's words. Was he sending out a warning that something was wrong, or was he simply reinforcing the intensity of his upcoming battle against Roach? Regardless, the uncertainty surrounding his statement only added to the anticipation leading up to the fight.
I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter.
Gervonta Tank Davis wasted no time in refocusing the narrative after his cryptic "Fighting for My Life" post sent fans into a frenzy. Shortly after setting social media ablaze with speculation, he followed up with a direct and confident message, 4 weeks away. The short but powerful statement made one thing clear: Davis is fully locked in for his upcoming fight against Lamont Roach. Whatever struggles he may be dealing with behind the scenes, whether personal or professional, he's determined to push forward and deliver a performance that cements his status in the sport. This fight carries even greater significance because Davis has already announced that 2025 will mark his retirement from boxing. With that declaration, every fight from this point forward is part of his farewell tour, a final opportunity to add to his legacy before stepping away from the ring. Fans are expecting him to go out in dominant fashion, and Davis himself seems determined to make every fight count. Whether he chooses to ride off into the sunset with a perfect record or take on one last challenge before calling it quits, this bout with Roach could set the tone for his final chapter.
It's the rest of the fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach he come to fight. I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
As anticipation builds, the tension between Davis and Roach has only intensified. During the press conference promoting the fight, the verbal jabs quickly escalated into an all-out war of words. What started as routine pre-fight banter took a sharp turn when Davis suddenly exploded with an intense warning directed at Roach. "I will tear you apart." The message was loud and clear. Davis has no intention of taking this fight lightly. It wasn't just bravado. It was a declaration that he plans to make a statement on fight night. Roach, however, refused to be intimidated. He fired back without hesitation. "You've been running scared for months. Now it's time to back those words up." His response showcased his confidence and willingness to meet Davis head-on, proving that he isn't just another name on Tank's list of opponents. Roach understands the opportunity in front of him, a chance to shock the world by taking down one of the biggest names in boxing.
Beat his ass for y'all talking. For real. I better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet, if y'all was loud.
We got the whole hood over there.
While the press conference ended without any physical altercations, the intensity of the verbal battle left a lasting impression. Analysts and fans alike walked away buzzing with excitement, debating whether Davis's anger would fuel an even more dominant performance or if Roach could us that emotion against him. Boxing is just as much a mental battle as a physical one, and both fighters are playing the game to perfection. Davis has built a loyal fan base throughout his career, one that has stood by him through his highest highs and lowest lows. His supporters have seen him rise to superstardom with highlight reel knockouts and navigate personal struggles outside the ring. Now, as he inches closer to the twilight of his career, his fans are rallying behind him once again.
No one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the results.
Move that head, bob and weave, bob and weave.
Social media has been flooded with messages of encouragement. One fan expressed unwavering faith in Davis, writing, "Tank's been through worse, he'll come out of this stronger." Another added, "This fight's going to be special. You can see it in his eyes." These messages reflect the deep connection fans feel with Davis. He's more than just a boxer to them. He's a warrior, someone who has fought battles both inside and outside the ring. With less than 4 weeks until fight night, anticipation is at an all-time high. The showdown is set for March 1st at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and both fighters are ramping up the intensity in training. Footage from their respective camps shows the grueling work being put in, with each man sharpening his weapons for war. Bold statements from both camps have only added fuel to the fire, making it clear that neither fighter plans to back down when the bell rings. Yet, despite all the excitement, some skeptics question whether this fight will truly deliver. Some believe Roach may not be the kind of opponent who will push Davis to his limits, suggesting this could be just another fight to keep Tank busy rather than a true test of his greatness.
Hey, Penny, see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is why Gervonta.
But Roach sees things differently. He sees this as his moment, his shot at rewriting history and proving he belongs at the elite level. In the super featherweight division, but he has yet to face an opponent of Davis's caliber. His most notable victory, a TKO win over Fergal McCrory, showcased his ability to dominate in the ring. However, stepping up to face Davis at lightweight is a completely different challenge. While Roach's speed and technical skills are undeniable, Davis's reputation as a knockout artist looms large. His last outing saw him stop Frank Martin in the 8th round back in June, adding yet another highlight reel finish to his resume. For over a decade, Davis has maintained one of the highest knockout percentages in boxing, with very few opponents managing to last the full 12 rounds against him. Despite these daunting odds, Roach remains unfazed. His unwavering confidence has led many to wonder, does he and his team see a flaw in Davis's style? Could they have uncovered a vulnerability in his conditioning? Or is this just a psychological tactic to rattle Davis before fight night? Adding fuel to the fire, a recent training clip of Davis working on hand speed with trainer Patrice Bog Harris surfaced online and quickly went viral. While some fans praised his sharp uppercuts and intensity, others were less impressed. Critics argued that Davis looked slower than usual, with many comparing him to Shocker Stevenson, claiming Stevenson would easily outmatch him in a battle of speed.
Would you be content if you won this and that's your last fight? Or nah, still some more heads you gotta put on the wall?
Yeah, it's definitely some more heads to put on the wall, for sure. But
the clip also reignited frustrations over Davis's choice of opponents. Many believe he should be facing bigger names like Shocker Stevenson, Devin Haney, or Vasily Lomachenko instead of Roach. One particularly vocal fan commented, "This isn't the fight we wanted. Tank should be challenging himself, not taking easy fights." One key talking point ahead of this matchup is the weight difference. Davis is a natural lightweight, while Roach has spent his career at super featherweight, 130 pounds. Moving up could put Roach at a disadvantage, as Davis is known not just for his power, but also for his ability to absorb punches. However, Roach's speed, movement, and defensive skills could pose a challenge. If he can avoid Tank's signature power shots and control the pace, an upset might not be as impossible as some believe.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking on the what's name. He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played the part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say it's cap? It gotta be. You gonna say it's cap? I'm watching. Gotta be.
Davis has faced criticism throughout his career for not taking on elite competition in his division, and the pressure is mounting for him to step into bigger fights. Fans are growing restless, calling for him to fight fighters like Stevenson, Haney, or even Keyshawn Davis. Anything less feels like a letdown for many. With Tank in his prime, every fight is expected to be a legacy-defining moment, yet some argue that recent matchups have felt more like strategic placeholders than true challenges. That said, Davis's camp may be playing the long game, keeping him active while preserving his longevity. Still, boxing is as much about legacy as it is about maintaining an undefeated record. Until Davis faces the best of the best, questions will remain about his true standing among the sport's greats.
I don't know Lamont Roach, but when you look at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at these other fights that he should really be fighting, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire.
Yeah.
So don't come and but don't come at me and go, oh yeah, let's.
For Lamont Roach Jr., this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A victory over Davis would instantly elevate him to superstardom, opening doors to bigger paydays and world title opportunities. His technical fundamentals, combined with his confidence, make him a dangerous opponent. If he can survive Davis's early onslaught and push the fight into the later rounds, the tide could shift in his favor. Davis's longtime coach, Kenny Ellis, has firmly defended the decision to face Roach, despite the backlash. While Ellis insists that Roach is a tough, skilled fighter, many fans remain skeptical, seeing this as yet another safe, uninspired matchup. Ellis highlighted Roach's amateur pedigree, claiming that Roach is a 7-time national champion, an impressive feat on paper. However, critics argue that this success hasn't fully translated to the pro level. Roach's loss to Jamal Herring and his narrow win over Hector Luis Garcia, whom Davis knocked out with ease, raised doubts about whether he's truly prepared for a fight of this magnitude.
When they start talking, when the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get them. I'ma beat his ass.
He can't do shit.
For real, y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all is quiet.
Fans aren't just frustrated with Roach as an opponent. They're frustrated with a pattern. Tank has been accused of fighting smaller, less powerful opponents throughout his career. Critics argue that he should be taking on top-tier lightweights like Andy Cruz, Raymond Muratalla, William Zepeda, Edwin de los Santos, Floyd Schofield, and Keyshawn Davis, all fighters who have either called him out or shown interest in fighting him. Ellis, however, dismisses the idea that Tank is ducking anyone. He claims that other fighters either price themselves out or turn down the opportunity to fight Davis. Yet, fans aren't convinced. As one of the biggest stars in boxing, Tank has the power to make any fight happen, and there's no shortage of challengers eager to test themselves against him.
I'm gonna beat his ass if y'all talking. Y'all better be quiet. I don't give a fuck about
Ellis's recent comments about the sparring history between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. have raised eyebrows in the boxing community. He revealed that the two had sparred multiple times as amateurs, with Davis coming out on top, but downplayed the significance of these sessions. According to Ellis, many of Tank's past opponents have claimed to have gotten the better of him in sparring, only to be soundly defeated on fight night. However, bringing up these old sparring stories does little to build excitement for this matchup. Instead, it reinforces the belief that Tank's team prioritizes familiarity and safety over real challenges. Ellis also spoke about Tank's mindset heading into this fight, insisting that Davis just loves to fight and doesn't care whether his opponents are big-name stars or lesser-known fighters.
What?
Who said that? You said what? You said what? Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for, the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want to bet? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want?
When asked about potential fights against Shakur Stevenson or Vasily Lomachenko, Ellis seemed indifferent, saying, "If those guys choose to fight him one day, they can get it. If not, life goes on." This casual attitude is frustrating to fans who want to see Tank take on fights that could define his legacy. Instead, Ellis's remarks suggest that Tank's team is content with keeping him active rather than pushing him toward greatness. Some analysts and fans believe Ellis is simply trying to sell a fight that nobody really asked for. If he openly acknowledged the backlash, it might show that they recognize the criticism. Instead, Ellis is heavily leaning on Roach's amateur accolades and making excuses about other fighters not being available, which many see as damage control rather than genuine confidence in the matchup.
Say friends?
Friends? Probably.
Is it gonna be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
Not at all.
Are you all gonna be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
Both making money.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully I just make him bleed.
Oh, true.
One of the most debated points is Ellis's insistence that Tank isn't responsible for the lack of high-quality opponents. He repeatedly emphasized that bigger fights were attempted but fell through due to high demands from other fighters. However, boxing insiders and fans are skeptical. Many of the names that Tank could have faced, like Andy Cruz, Keyshawn Davis, Raymond Muratalla, and William Zepeda, are rising stars who would likely jump at the opportunity to fight him. The fact that none of these fights materialized raises the question: is Team Tank intentionally cherry-picking easier opponents?
Here's my take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta Tank Davis was being ducked leading up to this. Shakur Stevenson.
At the end of the day, fans want to see Tank fight the best, plain and simple. His talent and knockout power are undeniable, but his resume has been criticized for lacking marquee wins over elite competition. A fight against someone like Shakur Stevenson or Vasily Lomachenko would not only be a massive challenge, but could also elevate Tank's career to a new level. But as long as fights like Tank versus Lamont Roach Jr. keep happening, fans will continue to wonder: is Tank avoiding the toughest competition? Ellis's defense of this fight hasn't done much to shift public opinion. While he may genuinely believe in Roach's abilities, the fight itself feels underwhelming compared to what fans were expecting.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, who do you want next? He say, I want.
His comments about fighters pricing themselves out or turning Tank down may have some truth, but they also sound like excuses. Tank is a pay-per-view superstar with the ability to draw huge audiences. There's no shortage of fighters willing to challenge him. The longer his team continues to make safe, low-risk fights, the more his legacy will come into question. Of course, boxing is unpredictable. Roach has the skills to make this fight more competitive than expected. If Tank enters the fight underprepared or overconfident, an upset could be on the horizon. Whether this ends up being another dominant showcase for Davis or the start of a career-defining moment for Roach. One thing is certain: March 1st will be a night to remember. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more boxing updates.